All right, good morning, cyber traders. How's everybody doing this morning? Good morning to you all. Good to see you, Neil. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook Live, welcome back. We are having another big rally in the oil market. So I'm really excited today. Don't forget, I am going to be doing a live presentation with Tom Busby for all you Jumpstart students that are going to be going on at 10:30. But we're going to trade this market in the open. I can't wait to have his feedback regarding about what we talked about. Hopefully some of you watch what I said last week on Trade with the Pros. That I think we're gonna hit oil close to like $200. I mean, we're getting there. We're probably about 2 weeks away, being up $10 a day. But like I talked about yesterday, we saw when we were below, we went to zero. And they were paying us to take the oil. Now it's going up. You see what's going on with the war in Russia. I'm going to do a video on it, so don't forget to be subscribed to Cybertrade University because I think you guys want to watch it, and I'll go into detail. Because listen, I say it all the time. Unfortunately, catastrophes like this make opportunities, and you just got to know how to trade it. So you got to keep an eye on that. Now, regarding about what happened yesterday, a couple of decent stocks that made some nice moves. We'll talk about the IQ trade. We'll talk a little bit about, that one did pretty decent. We'll talk about some of the, what was the other stocks that we had that moved pretty well? We had the crypto stocks that moved, some of the oil stocks that went up pretty well. Some of the ETFs have been great shorts. You could see the Russell, RUSL, just getting hammered. You got to be able to just, you know what? You have to just step up to the plate. You really got to step to the plate. And the big thing that we try to train you here at Cybertrade University is you just got to hit the button. You got to hit the button, and you just buy one share, and you can work your way up from there. Now, we are getting a little bit of a rally, they're saying, on TV. Give me a break. We're up 148 points. A lot of people are selling into the rally. And listen, this is where you have to ask yourself, you think this war is ending anytime soon? Europe is depending on 40% of their fuel with Russia. Okay, do you really think that they're gonna? And also, U.S. stopped oil drilling here. Do you think they're going to come out? I didn't hear anything from Biden yesterday. I hope a lot of you watched the union address yesterday. I didn't hear him saying he's going to drill. So that's why oil's up. And you know what? I don't know what it's going to take to get there, but doesn't look like we're going anywhere soon. And you know what? Who knows what China's thinking on the back end. This could be an opportunity. It could be a distraction, but you got to keep careful on your finances. You can't sit there and be in denial and hope for the best. You have to prepare for the worst. Now, you're seeing some of these stocks and some of these ETFs. We're going to look at them, and we're going to talk a little about them. But let me just talk about what happened yesterday. I told you I was long coin. Bitcoin obviously made a big rally from where it was. We heard that Putin is thinking about using Bitcoin because they shut the banks on him on Swift. But does that really mean anything to him? You know what I mean? So you're having some action going on with the stock right here. Bitcoin did pretty well. If you can't trade the crypto, there are some stocks out there that traded also. Mara was another one. That one, I mean, you can see they gapped up pretty well. I mean, they went down over the course of the day a little bit, but they did come up a little bit. Riot. That one also trades side by side with Mara. These are all blockchains and stuff like that. But and then you had the ETF. Another one that we did pretty well yesterday was IQ. I want to talk about this one. This obviously was my biggest winner of the day. This was just, I want to kind of point something out before we go through the watch list. This stock right here, if you were in the trading room, I mean, this thing did exactly what we anticipated. By the way, who traded this stock yesterday? I know we had a lot of people in the room that did trade the stock with me when I was in it. And I know somebody made more than me, and which I'm kind of happy for you. But I know a lot of you did trade this stock, but you could see it had a gorgeous Fausto flag right here. And then all of a sudden, you see that it made new higher highs. And then, boom, right around here, it was a little bit on the slow side. And then you had another spike, and another spike, and another spike. And then you had another big spike, and another big spike. And then finally, when we made a higher low, this was like the wake-up call right here when it came up. So everybody should have been out right around at the bottom. If you milked it as much as you can, should have got out around $5.50, right around that range. If you saw it right from here, listen, when you got a good position, the way you're going to know it's time to get out is when you got your first higher low. So that's where it comes up. New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ halted trading in stocks for Russia-based companies. Yes, I saw that. That's pretty crazy. Okay. So listen, you know what? This is what happens, and, not to get political, and I hate using that word all the time. I know, we try to hold back on it, but this is what happens when you depend on a communist country. Okay. And, I know that, you could hear, I don't know where you get your information from, but did you think this was not going to happen? Did you think when you depend on it? So listen, this is a play. You gotta go ahead, and you gotta be able to go and just be prepared to trade the market. Okay, people are gonna get hurt. I just actually just out of curiosity, I went to a website called a CD. What's it called? CDO fuel. Was that what it's called? What's called? COD fuel means cash on delivery. And I was just checking what to people to fuel their houses. It's at $4 a gallon. If you have a 275-gallon tank in your house, on the average, it's going to cost you $1,100. I think that is the highest ever. So if we get to oil close to 150, you keep talking about 1,500, 2,000. I really feel bad for the people that are poor. I know a lot of us want the company to go a different direction, not depend on fossil fuels, but we're not there yet. Okay, you got a catastrophe. You got to do something, and it's not like a diet. You're going to go to the gym today, and you're going to, okay, all right, I'm going to open the spigot. It takes time to build up that. A doctor puts you on medication. You just don't get good tomorrow. It takes time for the numbers to come down, but it is not, from the look of that, it's not getting better. It's getting a lot worse. Now, the reason why I bring this up, and this is what you learn as being a day trader. We learn that being a day trader is that when we see, some people never experience this, and a lot of you here experience this because you're part of the day trading room of Cyber University. How many times when we see a stock break all-time highs, and then all of a sudden the thing just goes up 200, 300%, 400% in a day, and you're like, what the hell's going on? So for some of us traders out there, do not be shocked or surprised, okay, that if we see oil at 110 and it goes to 200 in 2 days, because we see because when it's in uncharted territories, it's the same thing what happened with the stocks. That could happen, and all I'm going to tell you is better be prepared to trade this market, because that's where you're going to make most of your money. Forget about the politics, forget about the people getting hurt about it. This is your business, and you know what? All I could say is you don't want to be short if that happens, because you put yourself out of business. It hurts at the pocket. And that's where that comes. So regarding what's going on this morning, listen, there's a lot of stocks on the losers list. A lot of them. You got they're trying to make little comebacks. I mean, you got this stock right here. I mean, this is more of a pharmaceutical stock. KPTI, it did come back a little bit. You could see it right there. Was it earnings announcements probably? Yeah, it came after the hours. But this stock had a hell of a run right here, and the stock came right back down. And GOCO, another stock that's getting crushed. GOCO. Hook, we did really well with Hook. Hook took a little bit of a hit, but I'm not going to put down the watch list. And this stock is getting hammered. Eric, ERIC, we trade this stock many of times, but this stock is just look at the writing on the wall, just breaking a 52-week low. FSLR, that one, nice little rally for us. That's finally coming back. Solar, which is kind of weird. Why would solar be down so much, right? So, I mean, with oil going up, I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of solar is being built in China. What do you know? Another communist country, So what happens if we had a confrontation with Russia? It's funny. I was just talking to somebody here in our office about, remember what happened with the virus? And then China says, hey, how about we shut your medicine? All our Tylenol is being built right there. What happens if that happens? So you got to be prepared, in the market, that these things could affect these specific stocks, not only personally, but financially. We had a couple of good announcements that did come out. You could see that Nordstrom's did great. I don't know why, even though it is my wife's favorite store. But that came out with some really, really good earnings after hours, and then she started backing off. JWN, probably test the support levels right here. I'd be honest with you, I really didn't see that much out there in pre-market. Not a lot. As I was going through, I saw more shorts. This one's trying to go up, a little cheap, little stock. This one's not bad. PSFE. Listen, just because we don't find anything super, super interesting, in pre-market, we always find something all of a sudden it comes out of the norm. Boyle obviously doing pretty well. This is a kind of very tough stock. A lot of you know we trade this stock. We did a couple swing trades on it. It's not the easy day trade to trade it. On the losers, like I said, these are all stocks again, just hammered. ERUS. Down from 40 down to 10. How much lower could it go? No, 10 more points. Should have learned that from if some of you remember back in the day, what was the day when we were talking about it? Back in the financial, people would tell me how much lower could these banks go. We saw banks go out of business. It's crazy. All right. So anyway, we got about, 6, 7 stocks. We'll keep an eye. I'm not super sold. One thing I do want, Alcoa is just on fire. I know Alcoa just was great yesterday and had a nice little push. One of the stocks I want you to keep focus on the industry. Okay. We know we got the jobs reports coming out tomorrow, but I want you to keep an eye and be careful with airlines. Okay. Airlines do not do well with high oil. Most of their ticket is predicated on the price of fuel. So if you ever, I think it's literally, and don't call me, but I think they say it's almost 70% of your ticket prices go towards fuel. Now you think about that for a second. That is a lot. Forget about all the airports, the employees. That's a lot. So I would be really careful about being long airlines when it comes up to becomes with the fuel prices. So if you can't trade oil because you're not a commodities, obviously going up, wheat going up big a lot. If you're trading commodities, I don't know if you saw, obviously Ukraine, a very big producer of wheat. So commodities are obviously going crazy right now. But for some of you, a lot of these stocks, cruise stocks, airline stocks, you could see already, like for example, Delta was a great short yesterday, and that's not just Delta. You had American Airlines, you had Spirit, you had United, all of them. So keep an eye on those too. So if you do have me a swing trade, I got out of my airlines about 2 days ago, and I'm a big fan of airlines. I love airlines. I love Delta. I was just on them last week. I love JetBlue, all these airlines, but when it just because they're great companies doesn't mean it's going to save you money on the ticket, because that's what's going to come down to it. Bill Ireland, Ukraine exports 20% of their world's wheat, bread baskets, and Europe. Yeah, I know Bill. And like I said, look at the commodity. You think gas, think oil's a lot? Go look at the wheat on the commodity, on the futures on that. All right, let's get back to work, everyone. So we're going to get started. Listen, don't forget, we got to me and Tom Busby from DTI going to be on at 10:30. So if you are a student or you want to become and get into that and get access to it and do that jump start, talk to Education Advisor, or you can register on our website. In the meantime, if you see something, traders in the room, you say something. And if you're watching YouTube and Facebook, we'll be back here at 2:30 again, like always, every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30. Happy trading, everyone. Be safe, and let's make some money today. All right.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.